Good morning, friends. Let me tell you a little story today. And this is just something that you could probably listen to in your headset. You don't need to look at my ugly face if you don't want to. But, my brain was thinking about contractors, right? I always remember I was reading in a book one time that they're called contractors, kind of like con men, right? And I'm not trying to give anybody a bad rep on contractors because I'm a contractor myself, and I'm a good contractor. I'm a man of my word. I'll shake your hand. I'm honest. I won't steal from you. I'll tell you the truth. But, I was thinking about sometimes the situations where I see guys get gridlocked. So, for instance, we have a contractor that uses us for fencing. And I think we've done almost, it seems like, about 20 quotes for this guy. And he never uses us. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, what's the reasons in that? And I have all these other theories, but the rabbit hole I'm going to go down is I believe that what he does is he uses us for the numbers, right? So you think about, you always got to put yourself in his situation. You always got to put yourself in the other person's shoes. That's the most important thing. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and look out from them. You know what I mean? Think, what would they want from me? Why would they be doing what they're doing? So what you do is I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, well, we give him prices, right? But he's got his own group of guys that are very skilled craftsmen, right? They can do all kinds of things, from woodwork to metal to fabricating to steel to you name it, they can do it. I know he does. I've met some of his guys. Good guys. Smart guys. And so I tell myself, I'm like, if I was in his shoes, I would literally get a price from you, from another contractor, and I would have that in my mind. At least I know for $10,000, $20,000, whatever the number is, $100,000. I'm set that if something fails on my end, my guys, I lose a couple guys that quit, or my guys get sick, or we're too busy on a bigger job and they're making better money, I got this little rascal, this other contractor, to come in and do it for this amount of money, right? So part of me is like, when you get in those situations, you're almost better off probably just saying, you know what, I'm going to shoot it for a high price. I'm nervous. I don't know what it is. My uncle told me one time, he always told me, he says, Dave, he says, if you get a job that you really don't want, but they want, just price it high. You know what I mean? And that way, when you get it, you feel good about it. You really didn't want that job, but at least you're going to make a decent amount of money. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people get stuck on, they sit here and they worry about, oh my gosh, I got to do this for this person, I got to do this. And I'm like, no. First thing is just get the numbers. It's a numbers game. Get them the numbers as quickly as you can. And let's be done with it. Let's part ways. Did you like the numbers or did you not like the numbers? Did they respond? Did they not respond? Okay, then I move on. You know what I mean? Because it's a numbers game. You don't have to worry about any other things. I mean, except, when you are quoting things, you do have to think about layout, and you have to think about how you're going to do it, and equipment and materials and all that. But once you get that, I just take that stuff and just crumble it up, right? Just crumble it up and throw it away after it's done. So I don't want you to get too stuck on worrying about stuff. If you kind of feel hesitant, then just quote it high and move on. Oh, it's right here is the job. All right, so with that being said, just get the numbers out. Just get the numbers out. I'm telling you, get the numbers out. Everything else will move on from that. Just because the problem is too, is that if you don't get the numbers out, so I got I do my rentals. And I got people that are like not calling me back, right? And it's frustrating because I look at it kind of like what I was taught from Lowe's is that you give them the 24-hour. You need 24 hours. You need communication, right? You need something. Hey, I'm going to get back to you. Hey, I haven't got numbers back, or they give you the numbers. 24 hours, right? 48 hours is like super max. So I have one that's getting a kitchen done, and it's getting the design. You know, it's the designer part. You know what I mean? So it's not even the physical trades part of it, and it's like they're not getting back to me. It's been, I think, about 3 days now, and I haven't heard one iota, not one missed call. I made sure I told them, I said, you can call me, you can text me, you can, here's the wife's number, you can call or text her too, and nothing. So I'm that person right now on the other side kind of going, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, are they just that busy? Did they forget about me? Do I got to call them back? Which I will call them back. And the only thing that they had that was their saving grace was that the lady that answered the phone was very, how do you say it? She was like almost perky, right? It was almost like flirtatious. It was almost like a breath of fresh air, right? She was like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I'm doing good. I don't like winter. And she's like, I don't like winter either. And I'm like, why do we live here? And she's like, I don't know. All these things. And she asked the right questions, and she was very nice, and she was very pleasant on the phone. And it gave me, and this was just the first time that I've called this company, and it was a breath of fresh air, right? It didn't feel like I had to, you know, argue with her, or I had to give her the information, or she sounded naggy, and she sounded like she was like, well, you know, I don't know when we're going to be able to ever get to you. You know, she asked me the questions, what's the time frame that you're looking for? And I was like, within 2 years. And she was like, I think we can do that. And she's like, what's your budget? I'm like, keep it under $1 million. And she's like, I think I can do that. And, you know, so, but she was very pleasant, right? And I want to go back just because of one pleasant woman answered the phone. And I want to go, and I want to give them my business. But right now, she gave it to the designer, and the designer hasn't gotten back to me, which is kind of frustrating because it's more or less you're going to take dimensions and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's not a hard job. That's a very hard job. I know it from doing estimates myself. So, hang on, I got a customer. All right, so I'm back. I've had a job working on a couple gate operators. The customer pulled up. One of the gates not working. It's kind of throwing me a little bit, so I got to call tech support. So I just want to wrap up with, you know, when you're bidding stuff and that, just get the numbers out. Just get the numbers out. It's a numbers game. Don't worry. It's like, I think about it as playing baseball, right? If you don't swing at all, you don't even have a chance, right? If you don't walk up to the plate, you don't even have a chance. So throw something out there, throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. And if it sticks, great. You know what I mean? And if it's one of those things that you want the job, then put a little more effort into it. Make sure you follow up with the customer. Make sure you call them. Make sure you say, hey, how did I look? I'd really like to do this job. That's gone so far to me, far for me, is looking and shaking the people in the hand and saying, I want to do this job. I want to do it right for you. I want to be your guy. Because there isn't nobody out there anymore that does that kind of stuff. Everybody's just blah. And you got to stand out from the crowd. You can't be just the blah person. You got to be like standing out. You got to be energetic. You got to be, you know, you got to kind of say what you're going to do. And you got to be trustworthy. You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm going to leave you with that, guys. I'm going to get back to this gate. I got to call tech support, which is a nightmare, so I'm not even looking forward. They're going to, you know what tech support's going to do with me? They're going to say, well, it's 5 years old. You should replace it. You know what I mean? That's what they're going to do. I guarantee it. And it's very annoying because it's like, you know, I know that's not it. It just either needs a board or a motor. I'm not quite sure. I just need somebody to get me a little bit farther over that edge. So anyways, I'm going to get to that. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next one.